Morning, guys. How's it going? All right, it's moving. Running a little behind here, guys. Just got back from taking the kids to school, so trying to get caught up with everything. As you can see, scrambling a little bit here. Okay. Probably gonna miss that. Watching this KO, I want to see if we can bounce this here. Had pretty good earnings. So I'm just watching it on this pullback, pretty much filled the entire gap. This was yesterday's high. So I want to see how it reacts here. If it continues to pull, I'm going to probably pull back off on it and not trade it. I'm watching square off to the side. That's where I really want to go, but it made a nice run. So I'm expecting some kind of pullback on square first. Market is still pulling. Want to take it here, but got a nice clear trend break. It's the only reason why. If I did take it here, I would have to give it room to 47. Spreads 1924. Watch the chip sector looking pretty strong this morning. And if you guys wondering why I haven't took it, is yes, we did tap that yesterday's low, got a little bounce. Here's the downtrend I'm watching. I don't want to take it unless we break that because the overall trend is to the downside. So that's why I didn't really pull the trigger on that, but that gap pretty much filled up nicely. And this probably can bounce. Should have took it off yesterday's high, off that gap fill, and bounced it. They're getting set up over here, guys. Bear with me. CJ, good morning, CJ. Just trying to get settled. As you can see, I'm just now seeing that message. All right, almost there. Morning, CJ from all right, so basically probably it's holding up. Look like we might get a bounce on that. I'm watching the square off to the side. See, let's go take a look at square real quick. Might just end up trading square. Probably would have been a better one over. Yep. Watch that trend break here. I think I'm going to take this square here. All right, see if we can get it. All right, I'm going to take square here. Let's see if we can get this one more pull. If not, all right, there we go. So I got square. My stop is going to be right below here. Finna see if I can probably bounce this back above this 72.88 spot. Let's see what we have. See if we can get this going. There we go. All right, we just need to get back above $72.88. We get back above that, we can probably push towards this recent high. Watching the overall market is trying to come off this bottom, so I'm just trying to see if I can scalp this real quick, get a nice little bounce here. All right, we're going to be testing this level. Let's see if we can pop it. All right, looking good so far. See if we get one more pop out of this. Come on, what are you gonna do? There we go. Being patient with it here. Market seems like it wants to pop the top. See if this can follow through with it. There we go. Oh. All right, I'm gonna trim the position here. Get a little profit there. On the remainder of my position, I'm probably gonna leave it right at the entry. So I want to see what I can get on the rest of this. Nice little gain right out of the gate. Like I said, guys, small little moves. We don't need much to make a nice little profit. Depending on the size that you're playing with. So I already scaled out some. Now I just want to see if I can get this to push back the highs, and then I'll start managing it from there. Overall market seems pretty bullish here, so I want to see if we can get more of a push out of this. If not, my stops will probably be this downtrend. Let's see what we can get here. Come on. All right, looking good. Just want to get this. If we break this 73.09, we should get a nice little push on this square. Is what I'm looking for. Overall market pretty strong, so I think we should get a solid push. Let's see what happens. Again, I always take profit, guys. Don't get greedy. I'm all about making something out of the gate. Yesterday we missed that nice little run on square, but again, it didn't come into my spots. With this one, we had more of a risk reward defined where it bounced, gave us a solid base. We can scalp it off that bounce. Got the bounce that we're looking for. Overall market is still pretty bullish here, so we might be able to get a nice little push out of this. Let's see what happens. Come on, baby. There we go. There we goes. There we go. Come on. Looking real good. We're testing that level 7309. We need to pop this to get more upside. So should have a tight trailing stop on this here. Overall market still looks good across the board. Financials a little weak. Semiconductor looking pretty strong, as you guys can see if you go across the board. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far this morning. This one still has to put a little bit more work. I want to get it past this 7309 level. Again, probably hit my stops are going to probably be if it breaks this trend now. Stop me out in the money. Not going to give too much back on my remaining position. Pull back. Watch it here. All right. Should be getting stopped out now, guys. Don't let this get away from you. Just close below this, walk away. This is your entry point. You should break even on your remaining position. Remember, this was a huge run yesterday, so you can expect some kind of a pullback today. If you look at it, it's creating a higher low on this pull. See it higher? It's higher than the low, so which is plus. So this probably give us another opportunity if you wanted to take one. You guys know how I am. See the higher low, so this can still probably be good for more of a push. But again, I take what I can take and run, and I'm fine with that. All right, guys. So overall market is good. Good morning so far. Not stressful. You guys got any questions? Feel free to ask. I think the square will probably push higher, given the fact that the market is pushing the way it is pushing. Also, I'm looking at the futures. Futures broke out of a range that has been trading in. Finally popped that top. So that's why I think this can probably push higher as well. But we'll see what happens with this one. But if you look across the board, Apple pretty strong. I told you guys the chip sector looking pretty nice. If you're looking at Nvidia, AMD, both extremely bullish out this morning. One of the only weak ones I see right now is this Facebook, pretty weak. Financials aren't too strong, surprisingly. Apple looks great. Amazon, what a monster. Netflix is pulling back right into support. With this square, what I'm watching now with square is I want to see it get above 72.95, hold above that level, take out 73.09. Then you can possibly get that push that you're looking for on square. So that's what I'm watching on this right now. But it's, as you can see, it's having some issues right at that 72.95 spot. Needs to pop that, hold above 72.95. Actually 72.94 right now. See if we can pop to 72.95. There it goes. Now you need to take out 73.09. Take that out, and that can probably give you a nice little push and take out that high, which would be 73.20. Market is testing this channel. Need to pop that channel on the overall market. Looking at SPY right now. That needs to pop that channel. It's like right at it, and I'll pull that up real quick for you. There it goes. Popped it. This was what I was looking for. Pop that. If we do get a pullback, you want to see that pullback, test that channel, hold it, and then push higher. So if this is kind of pulling back here, the level you might want that to hold is going to be I can't see that, 290.83. If that holds 290.83, that should get more upside. So right around. Let's edit this. Turn that off. I say 290.83 will be around the range you want that to pull back if it does pull back and hold, which is right at the trend. So pretty much don't need it, but that's what I'll be looking at. Square is having issues, it's pulling back. See how that goes. That might give us another opportunity on a trend break to get back in and scalp that again. I'll be watching that one. There's your pullback again. So let's see if we can get another opportunity on this square. Goes pulling back. And this is why I say take what you can take, run, don't get greedy. Now the big trend is going to be here. See if we can get in it. Market might start pulling back here. Drawings. Watching these levels. So now what I typically do if I wanted to get in this a second time around, what I'll probably start looking for is some kind of consolidation to show itself that it wants to push higher. Until then, this seems like it wants to give you a nice little pull off of yesterday's run. And that's what I'll be watching on that one. I just do. There it goes. All right. Small caps are pulling back pretty hard here. Watching stuff across the board. And if you guys notice, I've been trading Square for a while now, so it's in this downward channel. Pretty much spotted. I'll show you it. So that's the channel you want to watch. You need to come out of this channel to get more upside. If you break that channel, once you take this, you can get that nice little pop that we're looking for. So you have to let this at this point do what it's going to do. Don't force anything at this point. I mean, we had a good, nice, solid pop out of the gate. This can probably yank on you if you're trying to trade it down here. Me personally, I just say run with the profits, keep it moving. We had a solid run on it yesterday. We missed a big run. Now, if you're trying to trade it here, you have to understand you got to give it some room to the downside, or just be patient and wait for the setup. I'm probably going to revisit this around that 72.25 range if we can get back down there. Come on down, baby. Morning, see Carlos. Waiting to see what happens here. Again, it's starting the base. This is what you want to see. Came here, pulled just a little bit, getting a little base. Possibly might try to push higher. I'm watching the overall market. Seems like it wants to push as well. This can possibly be another opportunity to get a nice little bounce on this square again. So what you can possibly look at, see if we can tighten up this channel. See that once you pop this little trend right here, I think you get that second push that you're looking for. But you have to keep tight stops on this one. So you got to give it room to right about here probably, or recent lows, to see if you can pop this and make a run for it. Nice little channel form here off the bottom. So possibly pull right back down to this channel. That can also be a risk right here as well. But you need to take this trend down. Take this trend, you should get a nice little pop back to the 72.88 spot. See what happens. All right, watch this pull. There it goes. Having issues here. So like I said, you need to hold this level, see if you can get this to pop. See what happens. Still holding the bottom pretty solid here. But I want this to show itself a little bit more. $72.73 will probably be where you want it to pop towards. You get that popped into that $72.73 level, then you should probably be looking good. There it goes. Need to close above that level and then you can get a pop. Again, market is testing that key spot again. Need to pop that. I think if we pop that, you can get a nice little rally across the board to the upside. Come on, pop it. Come on. Come on. So again, guys, just let it work. If not, tight stops. Don't let it break this bottom or this trend and just let it play out. Nice morning so far. JP was good with you. So good morning so far, guys. I scalped this twice. I'm happy. I only have now 100 shares left, and I will no longer let this break here on my remaining shares. I'll just let this play out. I think the market should push. I'm looking at Microsoft. Oh my gosh, what a monster. Look at Microsoft. So this is why I keep playing it here. I think it's trying to base, but look at this Microsoft. Oof. I was playing the wrong damn one. Look at that. Oh gosh. So I'm watching a couple across on my screen, and this is why I think Square should push a little higher. You just have to be patient with it. Square. Once it pops at top, I think you get the push that you're looking for. There it goes. It's trying. It's your first trend break I was speaking of. And then from there, you can try to see if you can push it up. And just play out. Good morning. 2 for 2 on Square. 2-0 on Square. So I can't complain about that. Quick scalps. 100 shares left. Now I'm just seeing what I can get on these 100 shares. Just playing around with it now. There it goes. Once you pop this here, it's running. Um, yeah, just tight stops now. Just watch the overall market. Overall market still can't break this spot. Is what I'm watching. We need to pop this level. You pop this level, it should run. Tested the downtrend now. Need to pop this downtrend. Once you pop it, I think you get to push towards that 7309 that was looking for earlier. See what happens. And again, guys, the way I trade, you literally can scalp all day. The only reason why I don't scalp all day is the more trades you take, the more risk you're putting yourself to the market. I don't care how accurate or how good I feel as if this is, eventually the market will catch you off guard and you will make you pay. So me personally, I get what I can get out, and I'm happy with whatever I make. Again, my philosophy is if I'm working an 8-hour shift, if I'm okay with $30 an hour, then I have to make that amount in a day. Or if I make $10 an hour, I need to make that in a day. So if I can make that within the first 5-10 minutes of trading, I see no reason why you shouldn't be satisfied with your gains and walking away with no regret. Need to pop out of this channel, guys. As you can see it, that's why I have it here. Just respect that channel. To me, this is still telling you it wants to go lower until you pop this. Market is at like literally holding above that trend. Needs to hold above it to push higher. So that's what I'm watching as well. This can be a sensitive spot. Roku's pushing now. Pretty nice. I don't know if anything came out on that. I haven't been looking at any news feeds or anything. So watch it here. Again, I think the first spot I want to see is 72.79. You break that, probably take out that 72.88 yesterday highs, and then you can push more upside. But you need to get out of this down channel. So overall trend right now is to the downside. Just don't give too much back, and just watch it. All right, just got stopped out on it. So that's it for me on that one. Whatever. When that happens, again, I respect everything I do. As you can see, I had a remainder position left. That was my stop. Stopped me out. Whatever. Even if just push higher, I just got to be okay with my gains. Again, guys, I no longer have any question. Yep, stay angry. Listen, Carlos, I agree with you, and that's my goal. I don't care if I don't hit my daily goal. If I do hit it, I'm not looking to be a hero. All I want to do is stay green on a day. So even if I'm up $100, $200, hey, listen, if I made $100 in a minute, where can I make that anywhere else in 1 minute? So I'm not complaining about that. If I make 500 in 1 minute, 1,000 in 1 minute, 5 minutes, it does not matter to me. You're not making that anywhere else. So if you can make that consistently daily, then you can go on about your day, enjoy your day. And that's how I look at the market. So I don't know. I'm not in here trying to make $10,000 or $15,000 a day. There you go, Carlos. You always give me some tickers just to look at. I love it. Let's go look at it. Let me clear this up a little bit. You know what? Let's just take this one off, and then I'll pull that one up, Carlos. Remove. Let's go here. Let's do. Let's create an alert on this one. because I still do have my option contracts on this, so I still want to know what's going on with it. All right, it's that one. I think that's going to push higher once it comes out of that, but we'll see. Anything can happen in this market. I think it was IMUX. Let's take a look at that, Carlos. All right, well, just got the square alert. It just happens that quick, right? I'll come right back to that. And there's square, guys. Finally coming out of that channel, it looks like. It's testing it, haven't completely broke it, but it tapped it, break it, push higher. That's what was looking for. It's taking longer to develop. But anyway, IMUX. Carlos, what are you looking for on this one? I do have one question. I noticed it made a nice little gap up. Pre-market pullback is holding yesterday's high. Typically when I see that, sometimes this can probably push higher, but I have a bigger question than that. What was the gap up for pre-market? I don't know if you're still on here, so I'll type it in. Why the gap up in pre-market? And the reason why I ask that is because typically if you gap up pre-market, I just want to know what's the reason behind it. I don't know anything about this company. Hard to say, but if you do zoom out, which I'm looking at now. All right, let's go 2 days, 2 minutes, whatever. Look at this, right? Just zoom in here. You see this spot right here? Look where it had resistance. Look where it's having resistance today again, Carlos. So if I was to trade this, wrong one. One of the things I would be looking at would be that level. Reason being, because last time it hit this, something is going on with my system. Look at this, Carlos. If I can get it on it. Hold on. Boom. Right, and then let's put this in the range. Do you see the range? You should already see it. I'm pretty sure you do. See this bottom part right here? Let's put that in that range. All right. And let's mark here. It's not much volume on this either, so that's another issue with it. But just hey, for sure. So you can see I just marked those levels, and look what I was looking for. Look how they're playing out today, Carlos. They completed. All right, so you all know I learned a lot from AJ. They completed. They're supposed to do that, I guess. There's like a vital therapist transaction. Like, what is that? Why is it significant to the company? How is it bringing revenue in the company? Or is that something that they're expected to do? If that's something that they're expected to do, then this can probably just sell off because it's not big for the company. So it's all depending on what it is. I didn't read the article, so I don't know much. But if I know AJ, if it's just something that they're expecting to do, whatever the case may be, the way he tells us to trade this is typically watch for the pop. You get a pop and this should sell off right back to where it came from. So that's how he would trade it. That's how I've seen him trade it. And he's pretty good when it comes to these bio companies and stuff like that. So in my perspective, and from what I've seen him doing when he traded this sector, is depending on what the news is, if it's not cancer or like AIDS or something like that, or whatever the case may be, typically they pop and sell off. And if you can look at it, the past few days, they seem like they've been pushing a bunch of news. But this stock at one point used to be at 390. Jesus Christ, and it just got crushed. So they must be looking for searching. Wow. Yeah, I would be very careful with that one, Carlos. Ouch. But anyway, if it does, one of the things that you could look, it holds this 1649, possibly push back up to 1740, 1733, break 1733, you push higher. Can't hold 1649. Look for this to drop back down to this 1576 area, 1557 support. Need that to hold. If that don't hold, see you later. That's going to 1376 to the downside. It's how I would look at it, and if I was trading it per chart perspective, from a charting perspective. And it's trying to hold its level, but if this breaks, you know where it's going. Should come right into here. As you can see, where it found some support right in this range, this is what I'll look for. Once you break it, you collapse to yesterday's high. Yesterday's highs doesn't hold up, you get a pull back down to 1557 and so on to the downside. Clearly downtrend. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, this is in straight downtrend. Have some nice support right in that 13 area, 1375 ish, 1339, right around there. Got some pretty good support on that. Yeah, chronic inflammation. Yeah, they need more. It needs to be more more solid than that. I wish I had some of those articles I used to save when I used to read. So AJ, he'll read. What he does is read through all these news pre-market, and he'll find these amazing runs. So what I used to do is every time he found the amazing run, I would go back and pull up the articles that he read and break it down and try to understand and see what words he was looking for and stuff like that. So when you said combine and some of the stuff that you mentioned, I think Dish either consolidates and then go lower. The only way I see this pushing higher is you have to break this trend. But if you clearly look at it, the volume, it doesn't even have the volume it would need to push higher. I would just be careful on that one. Yeah, you can ask option questions. I'll try to answer the best I can. I mean, it don't matter. Yep. And as you guys can see, this is why I killed Square. I know, was it BX yesterday? Somebody asked me about. Yeah, I want to see how it did. I think somebody was talking about BX yesterday. Let's look at it again. So we did get it. The curl support held. There's the pop that we was looking for. Hopefully he scaled out on that trend. I always go back and look to see if I was right. So there's his run. Hopefully he got out once that trend broke and then the sell off. So not bad. Who was right? Who would have nailed that one? Probably took forever to develop. And again, this thing gives you nice little pops out the gate. It looks like, and it sells off, fills this gap. Gap is almost filled pretty much. And then it seemed like you might get a curl on that. Again, Roku was strong out of the gate. It seems like anytime Roku gets down there within those 50s, 55 level, it gets spots up. So I will be watching Roku from here on out. See it? 55, 50 level. This thing keeps getting bought up within this range. I sold it too early, way too early. 61 today, gosh. That's cool. So that's stuff I look at, and you guys can see I chart everything out myself so I can remember certain things. I noticed when you put in the time charting on your own, You remember levels and stuff, what to look for. So Roku, again, I just got this 54.80 spot. I took it, was looking for a 60, sold out way too early. I would actually be in the money with these contracts. But that's okay. Roku. Wow. I mean, you pop 52. That's gonna have room to 54.11 pretty soon. Nice. And let's go look at Square. And guys, this is why I say you take your money and run. Run. Look at that. I mean, still holding the range. It's alright. But still, I mean, we nailed it twice. Bum, and get out. There's no need to sit around and unless you're trading an option and you're taking a swing on it, totally different perspective. But again, equity wise, get in and get out. There's no reason why you're sitting around. You need small little moves like this to make great returns. Again, as long as you understand the amount of shares you're playing with, 500 shares on 500 shares, probably risk like 10 cents, 20 cents on it to look for a 50-cent move to a point move. Good return. 1,000 shares, same concept. 1,000 shares, 10 cents, 20 cents, $200. If you're going to risk $200 on 1,000 shares, then your mindset should be you want at least a $600 return plus. All right, you always got to have the upside dominating the downside, and that's how you stay profitable. And that's where the risk reward come into play. So every trade that you see me take, typically you see, hey, I'll take here. I'm already, depending on the size that I'm going in with, I have a risk that I'm willing to risk on that side, and that's how I come out on top. So if my risk is hit, so if I have say $100 risk, if I hit the $100 risk, I'm out of the trade. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's no reason for me to push it, because if it pulls and continue to pull and I wait for the setup, I'll make that $100 back real quick once the setup shows itself. All right, so WBA, Carlos, if you didn't know, I did take that yesterday. Me and Adam were in that. All right, here's my thought on WBA. I am actually getting creamed on it, but as you can see, I do have my risk on it. 53.32 is the stops. I took it right here yesterday, so I am down on those contracts, but there are several things that you got to think about. Me personally, when I took this, and that's the reason why I took the size I took, I know it's a lot of healthcare issues going on with the government and all this other stuff, which will impact Walgreens. Let me turn this down. Which will impact Walgreens, right? So with that being said, if they continue to go that way, I think they're trying to push for a healthcare to be free or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, got to go back and do some more reading on it. So with all that being said, if that does happen, right, guess what happens? These companies like the Walgreens, CVS, and some of those, they're going to get hurt because of the pharmaceutical part that they have in their stores, right? The prescription and all that stuff, the value and all that will go down. So with that being said, if you look at the overall chart, it typically trades around the bottom of the range is 53.32. So as long as it's holding this 53.32 level, I think I can get a solid bounce and push back up. I'm in it till 621. I had the 55 calls. So I don't need much of a move to go into money and let this work for me. But again, you have to understand that there's a lot of negative news surrounding the pharmaceutical sector. So that's why I got those. One of the things I look at, Carlos, when I'm looking at that, I think I posted it in the pro options room when I took those contracts, the ones I was looking at. If you look at WBA, those 621s, I'm going to them now. So like I'm down 26 cents on this pull, right? Not a horrible pull to me personally. 26 cents, you can give it room. And again, that's why I gave it here, because I think once it hits here, I'll probably be down like 38 cents or something like that off my calculations. So it's not bad. So the delta on that, well, it probably changed now. It's 39 cents. I think the delta was like 40 something cents. The gamma was like 0.07 and the theta was negative point. So time decay is not going to kill me holding these contracts as much as it would if I took a closer time frame. So with that being said, that's how I gauge it. And then I look at the open interest. The only thing with these contracts is there is no volume and no open interest. But from a charting perspective, I jump around and look at all time frames when I'm trying to take a swing to see what I like most. I think on the monthly time frame, typically what it does is it pulls into the 200 moving average. It breaks it a little bit and then it will rally from there. So my thought frame on that, and that's one of the reasons why I took the trade, is it's actually testing the 200 moving average on the monthly. And what I'm thinking is if we can hold above that level, or if we pull just below it, we probably test that trend and then push higher. So that was my risk on that. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's how I'm trading that. I hope I answered the question. Yeah, the delta tells you for every dollar how much you get back on your option contract. But you also got to factor in the gamma as well, because for every point you'll get X amount of cents on the delta, and then you factor in the gamma on top of that for every other point after that, if I'm saying it correctly, or if you understand it. So right now, see, Prowl's pretty close. And listen, I'm down what, 33 cents. So that's about 36. If we do pull here, I'll probably be down by 36, something like that. 40, right around there. Not bad. Let me see. I'm trying to see a time frame where I can let you see a bigger picture, so you guys can see somewhat of what I'm looking at. 180 day hourly might be too much, but all right, here it goes. That'll work. So just trying to pull up a bigger time frame so you guys can see it. Can you see it trading within this down channel? So what I'm looking at for is come back and retest this. As you can see, 53.32 spot is what I was looking at. I needed to hold it. If it breaks that, I know we got more downside and I'll probably kill this trade, but that's what I have it at. That's why I have a 53.32 spot. I thought the risk reward was there. Sometimes it pulls all the way down into your risk, but if it breaks it, I have to kill it, and I won't no longer be in that one. So I already have sell limit and everything there, waiting to see if I do hit it. Looks like we should hit it, and then I think we get a bounce. But clear down channel. I'm trading against the trend, tight stops. You got to pay attention to all that. As you can see, I have all that in. Okay. So listen, overall trend down, short-term trend down. I mean, there is nothing positive about this thing right now. But again, I told you why I did it. Off the monthly is what I'm trading. This is off, so I can't just focus on this. So if it breaks it, I get stopped out. Correct. Yep, I agree, CJ. I guess that's what, if that's what he was asking for. Appreciate that, CJ. And again, guys, CJ is another one. Pro Options, the room that I'm always talking about. That's where CJ is from. Another room you guys should always feel free to check out. Pretty cool room. Got my boy in there, Adam. Adam is, listen, never a dull day trading with Adam. Trust me. Whether he's having a bad day or a good day, I guarantee you, you'll walk out of there with a smile, which is a plus side. So another room to watch out for. Watch this square coming off the bottom here, guys. It's still in that downwards channel, not touching it. But we'll see. Yep. You agree 100%, CJ. And Carlos, one of the things I would suggest is look at even if you don't trade, like if you're not taking trades right now, let's say if WBA is something that you want to look at, right? What I used to do was write down the price of the delta, and then I'll pay attention to the movements. What you think about Twitter? Let's go look at Twitter. TW. Jesus. Awesome earnings. Did it already break out? It's already. Oh my God. What is this? Time frames. Go back to the right. In it 2 day. Oh my goodness. Twitter. Yeah. Well, as you can see, what do I think about it? I wouldn't chase it up here. I can tell you that much. But breaking out of all these channels, these downtrend, I think this baby has some room. Probably right into this 42, 43 spot over time. I don't see anything. If you, again, zoom out, guys, this thing broke out of a clear range. Once it broke out a 37.14 spot, that was your long. That was the range break. And look. I took square over this too. I should have took it. It has a catalyst. What's the name? Was probably the better trade. Guys, I'm sorry, my computer is just acting up. As you can see, this is not. I'm gonna be able to move around. It's glitching a little bit. There it goes. All right, so yeah, once it broke out of that 37 right here, 37.14 level, that was the range break, guys. Look what happened once it broke down, pulled back, reclaimed it, and it's just been out of here. It's, yeah, 40. Look for the 40 range, guys. That's probably where it's going. Snapchat. So let's just say, right? I personally wait after the earnings. As you can see, like KO, I wanted to play KO today, but the pull, you guys seen it. I was trying to nail it, and then it just bounced on me, and then I walked away. I should have took it off of yesterday high. So let's look at Snap, right? I think that's SNP, SNAP. I think that's how they have it, right? Yep. What the heck is that? That's not Snap, is it? Yes, it is. Oof, Snap is coming off the bottom as well. Just because Twitter beat doesn't mean Snap will beat. But again, I don't gamble into earnings. But let's just say if I was to gamble into earnings, this to me doesn't have too much range, because you would have to probably buy. I wouldn't go any further out of the money. Jesus Christ, can you come on? Then that 1263 is where I think it has range to. So if you took it here, I would probably gambling into earnings is how I'm going to say it, because which it is what it is, which I don't do unless I got some analysts really backing it up with some crazy numbers. I'll probably do it, but I think this is where it'll go. Earnings beat 1263. And then you pop that, you can probably get another nice push right into that 1345 area. And I'll show you levels that I have on it right here. 1364, sorry about that. Is where I'll probably try to go. If they miss, you can look at a 1123 and lower. Yeah, pull back, but it should go back up right now, Carlos. It again, that's the stuff I tell you look for. Look at Facebook. I already just glanced at it and saw it, but Facebook. Same thing I tell you guys to look for is what I look for. Not telling you guys to look for, but is what I look for. Look what happened. You got the pull, trend break. You can try to take it long. Once you break out of this range, here's the range break. Now you should push higher. Same thing. Here's another range break right down here. Look at that range break. Consolidation, I always tell you guys, once you start seeing that, where is this? Yesterday high, right? Pulled right into yesterday high, held it. You got a nice consolidation. I mean, look at your risk reward. This is your risk, yesterday's high, to try to push this back to today's high. I mean, clear as day, nice setup. I'll take that all day. And if you wanted to wait for a nice trend break, I'll show you the trend break where you could have took it. Ah, come on, why isn't it doing it? Man. Look at this. All right, trend break. Take it here. Here's your risk, or here, whichever one of these candles. Look at you. We do this every day. I don't change it. I don't nothing. I stick to it. This should push back the highs. I think that was your gap fill. Fill the gap. Held yesterday's high. Always a plus when you see that. And then when we start seeing this consolidation, even bigger plus, take it off a trend break and rock out. All right, look at Square. Square pretty much is doing the same exact thing. The only thing I didn't like about Square today was it gave up yesterday's high. See this? So this is why I was so skeptical about Square. But again, trading in the downwards channel, all I did was all I did was take it right off the channels and bounce it. Full channel, bounce it. You need to take out this high to get a continuation to the upside. Yeah, I think Facebook going higher though, Carlos. A few of these things I have pretty nice setups, you ask me. Look at Netflix, another one. Same thing. Netflix is pretty much doing what I want to see Square do. So let's look at Netflix so I can give you a good example of what I'm trying to show on it. So Netflix was one that gave up yesterday's high, pulled. Look what happens when you reclaim it, right? And I'll show you the downtrend break on that reclaim. You guys can see it pretty good. Bingo. See it? So trend break, pull back, held the trend break. Now look, consolidation, pop it. Here's your risk, just to get a push. All nice setups, I think, across the board. Market, S&P, told you guys once you broke that trend, you needed to break it. You broke it. We should get nice little pushes to the upside. Let's take a look at SPY. And these are stuff I look for. This is how I gauge how I should play the tickers I trade. Remember I told you guys once you break that, you should get the retest. Here's your retest. Held it. Now we're pushing. Look for a 291.74 spot. Might get a little resistance there, pull back, and so on. And I do this every night. I go through charts every night. I try to get a feel of everything I'm looking at. I gave you guys Roku out of the gate as well. Another one, nice one. All right. Once I noticed the pullback, I told you, hey, Roku can probably push back up. Looks nice. But I just love my Square. And Square didn't give me the range I was looking for. Carlos, remember this, right? And I hear that from a lot of people. When you're trading contracts, you have to manage it. Just like I tell you to manage it on the equity side, you still have to manage your contracts, right? So I had a guy reach out to me, I want to say like last week, Thursday or Friday, and I actually did an option contract trade with him on the phone. And his mind frame was he didn't want to put so much on the table. So I was telling them, you just manage it. So let's just say if Netflix or Roku, if one contract is gonna run you $3, right, which is $300, right? So that doesn't mean you have to risk the full $300. Manage it. Let's just say out of the $300, you're only gonna risk $100 or $50, right? You just manage it. As long as that $50 does not hit on those contracts, then you stay in it and see if you can get a push move to the upside, right? If you do get it, trust me, you'll make money quick if you're trading Netflix or Roku, something like that. And then you look at the delta as well. So if you're going to trade, let's say a Roku, the contracts are going to run you $300. The delta on that is 50 cents. Well, guess what? If you give that a point room to the downside, you're going to lose 50% of your money, because that's a 50-cent hit that you're going to lose for every point it drop. All right. So with that one, you might want to back off. You might want to look at a delta that has a possible 30-cent or something like that risk. So if it does pull a point against you, then you know you're only losing 30 cents versus 50 cents. So that's 30% of your funds on the table. So you just have to understand your risk reward when you're trading options, and then that's how you gauge it. And that's how I typically trade it. Hopefully that makes sense. And guys, Square seems like it's trying to come off the bottom down here. I'm watching this right now. Hopefully that made sense, Carlos. I don't know if it did. Again, I might not be the greatest explaining that whole entire option stuff, but I can tell you someone who is. CJ and Adam, they're in love with these options. They even do the straddles and all that other stuff. I don't do it, but they're more knowledgeable than me on the option side. Who else? Brandy is pretty knowledgeable. I don't know if Atlas Trading, she's pretty knowledgeable. There's a couple people out there that's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to options. Nope, Square rejected that channel again, and here's more downside, possibly. Oh my gosh, Netflix, look at this. Hey, Lexus. I also talked to a guy last night about Netflix. He was asking me about Netflix. Same thing, like I told him it was a range break. Once you get those range breaks, even though it made a big move, look for more upside, wait for a pullback, and then see if you can knock it out. And look at this Netflix. There it goes. And guys, you guys probably asking me, why don't I trade a lot? Listen, I stick to what I feel comfortable with. I don't have to trade all over the place. I feel as if you can stick to a ticker or two and make great money. Once that ticker doesn't give that much movement that you're looking for, then bounce to another one and find one that's moving and then trade that one. Carlos, it all depends how much. I don't know your count size. I know when I first started options, I started with like to get my feet wet, $1,000. At one point I did 500, and the issue with that was when I wanted to trade the Netflix, it took majority of my capital, so I added more money and then I just traded from 1,000 and pretty much grew it from there. You don't have to have huge capital. You just have to understand how to chart and understand your risk reward, and then you should be good on that, Carlos. Nah, CJ, I'm being honest, CJ. What am I saying wrong? You got to tell me what I'm saying wrong, CJ. Oh, 300. So Carlos, look at your AMD, your INTC. I think MU has pretty good deltas on cheap contracts as well. Those are someone. No, you have to have. You just got to respect your charts, Carlos. That's all. I mean, that's just my thing. I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. But that's just basically what I do. And again, I'm straightforward. Listen, when it comes down to options, I will swing the heck out of something on the option side and just let it be. If the risk reward is in my favor, I'll take it and just swing it. Because I can have less emotions with the options because I understand my max risk. Where when I'm trading equity, I don't have that privilege, because if that sucker keeps dropping on me, I'm losing money. So I got to manage equity more than I feel, and that's probably why I do straight calls and straight puts when I trade options. I don't want to manage it as much. Hey, listen, Carlos, I'm telling you, the man to go to is CJ. CJ knows how to chart too. Hey, I'm telling you. I'm not listening to CJ right now. I need to go in the room right now. CJ. Adam is so again, guys. This is why I love Adam, right? AMD, INTC. Which other ones? I'm trying to start ASAP. Waiting on taste of worse now. You have INTC, MU, uh, AMD. Who else has one? I think Square as sometimes can be expensive, so you gotta watch Square. Um, Microsoft no longer has cheaper ones now that it's been making that huge run. They used to be pretty cheap. I would have to go through my list again and tell you which ones I thought was pretty cheap. Uh, yeah, that's the only ones I can think of. Which other ones had some? I don't know if you trade like American Express. They're not too bad. Um, some of those credit card companies, they're not that bad. But the only thing is you have to be patient when you're trading them. They take forever. So if you're not good at picking good contracts and understanding the time frame and all that, yeah, you might get crushed with the credit cards or the banking ones. I think Bank of America is not that bad, but again, another one you have to understand the time frame and stuff with. That's pretty much it. Is WBA still dropping? Oh, we haven't broke it yet. It's trying to though. So I just popped into the pro options room, and this is why I say, even when Adam is down, he's gonna make it one of the most hilarious down days ever. So we're both getting creamed on this. He's probably getting creamed way more than me, but I mean his spirit is just up, and he's having fun in the room, and it's awesome. Yeah, so just look around. That's what I would look at. Those probably would be the ones I would look at. AMD, and one of the ways that you can really get an edge if you're going to trade that sector, pull up the sector for those. Like, say for instance, if I'm looking at the financial, I like to see the overall financial sector. If the overall sector is down and is dropping, then I won't take a long position until I see that sector showing signs of strength. It's typically how I would trade it. What else? Yeah. So when you guys hear me watching the sectors, and that's what I'm doing. I have a screen in front of me with all the sectors, and I'm looking at which sector is doing good today. Like I told you guys that the chip sector was doing pretty good, and they held up out of the gate, and now they're pulling back because the overall chip sector is coming down. So stuff like that I watch. I don't know. Yeah, they're pretty cool, man. Listen, it's never a dull day in there. Um, Never a dull day in there. I literally, when I get home from getting the kids coming from the gym, I literally go in the room and just read some of the stuff that they post, and oh my gosh, it's hilarious. So great room. And again, guys, pro options. Let me see if I can get the link. I posted in here if whoever wants to join that. If I can figure this out, I'm getting a little better with this stuff. Or if CJ, you're in here. Oh, there. See if I'm getting good at this. So that's the Discord room, I think, to his room. Should work. But other than that, guys, this is pretty much it for me. 10:42. I was supposed to just do 30 minutes. I'm trying to sub, but my phone. I mean, reach out to Carlos and Carlos, reach out to him. I'm pretty sure they'll work some out with you. They're pretty cool. You've been around a while. Closed mouth don't get fed. Always remember that. So reach out, talk to them, see what you guys can work out. Give it a shot. I mean, it's not like, listen, they put in the time to run the room, right? So they want to get, some kind of return for it, and I can respect that. But and the reason why I can respect that, you and I both know they will sit up 1, 2, 3 in the morning with you to make sure you learn this. So I think another reason why I love that room is just the amount of time they put in with people. It's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for me. I'm 2-0 today. I don't overtrade. I made a nice return. Didn't hit my daily profit, off by a couple hundred, 300. I'm not too mad about that. I mean, no need to go in there and try to make that and then blow more money. So I'm okay with what I got today. I'm going to shut down now and call it a day. Again, guys, if you guys have any questions for me, you can always hit me up an email, MarcSkyStocks@gmail.com. If you like what you're hearing, give the channel a like, share, subscribe, whichever. But other than, guys, see you tomorrow, and see if we can knock this out again. Take care, guys.